Okay, well, here we go. I'm actually running about 13 seconds ahead of you, and I'm not sure why that is. So, that's the way it will go. I am also glancing off to the side here every once in a while where I can see what's going on another monitor. This is the first time for me to do a live broadcast. So, we'll see what happens. Feel free to comment down below, and also, if you want, please join the chat if you've got a channel. If you don't have a channel, create one, and that way you can join the chat. Um, Mainly, what I'm doing right now is really testing the limits of what I have on this software. I'm also wanting to communicate with you and talk a little more about what the plans are for the future of this channel, and to let you know that you can be a part of this channel in many ways. The biggest way, of course, is by commenting, giving thumbs up, doing those things that make all of these videos easy to find. Pardon me. I'm still a little sick from earlier in the week. Still make these videos easier to find for teachers who are searching for this type of information. And as it turns out, having been on a lot of the chat boards and a lot of the things around, there are a lot of teachers looking for information like this. Everything I put on this channel is aimed specifically at the idea of, I wish I had learned this before I started teaching. I came from the career of many careers, actually. I've been a professional performer, a magician. I've directed plays. I'm a writer. I have worked in retail. I have also been a minister for 21 years. And there's someone knocking on my door, the wonder of live broadcast. Yes, that would be my son back there, by the way.
You want to go on a walk in a little bit?
Possibly. I'm doing a live broadcast right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. So, anyway, so here is what I've planned for the future of this channel. Is, if you've noticed, I've got 3 videos that are specifically questions to teachers, and it's questions that might allow, that do allow for response. I'm hoping to broaden that area and make the questions more relevant. I hope that you will take advantage of all of this and use it to your benefit. And if you know people who are struggling in the classroom, I'm not offering all the answers, and I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but I am offering some answers, and I think these things that I'm offering, they are the things that worked the best for me. And I know that they work, and I have passed them on to other teachers, and they work for them as well. And so the information is solid. Obviously, you've learned by now I'm a big proponent of Harry Wong and his book, The First Days of School. That's because this book, if you tailor it to fit your own style, you will be able to really begin building that foundation of classroom management that you need in order to really teach the curriculum that you're teaching. So I hope that you will take the idea of this book seriously. And yes, I'm giving 2 of these away today. Comment, make chat. If you comment down below, if you contribute to the chat, we will put you in for the drawing, and I'll get in contact with you through email, or I'll find a way to get in contact with you through your contact information on YouTube, and I will get the book to you. We'll find the best way to do that. All right, so today's week. This week it started off, Monday was fine. I was a little despondent Monday. I wasn't feeling great. Actually, as I look back on it, I wasn't feeling great. I didn't recognize it as that. Sometimes, you know how it is, you get to where you're close to the holidays and you think that you are kind of just winding down, and so the down feeling you have is just that I've been working and working and working up until the holidays and I just need a break. Well, that wasn't necessarily the case, because as it turns out, I woke up early Wednesday morning very sick, and I had to call in at about 4:30 for a guest teacher. My guest teacher arrived evidently late that day or something. Anyway, it was kind of confusing for the people who were there, but the fact is I was sick, and I went to the doctor Wednesday. Normally I wait a day before I go to the doctor, but I felt so bad. I went to the doctor that Wednesday. You probably caught the daily vlog that day as I was driving back from the doctor. Luckily, it was not the flu, although it had all the symptoms of the flu, of coughing and congestion and soreness and not able to keep water down and all that kind of stuff. So here I am driving back, made it back, stayed out of school for Thursday because I still felt a little feverish that evening. So what ended up happening was Thursday, I got to feeling better. Thursday, it didn't do much, laid around in bed till afternoon when I needed to go to my wife's Christmas party. And then I had bought tickets to Star Wars about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so we went and saw Star Wars. Good movie, by the way. No spoilers here, but worth watching if you are into that line of story. So I made it back to school on Friday. That was yesterday, and if you saw my post yesterday, you saw what happened towards the end of the day. I had a bit of an altercation in the hallway, and we had to deal with that. So now, here I am making my first live broadcast Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, just like we promised. We're 5 minutes into it, and I have a total of 3 people watching, and I think 2 of those may be myself. So I'm not sure who the third person is. I'm about to check to see if we've got any comments going. I don't see any. There's certainly nothing going on in the chat at the moment, so I think, based on what I'm seeing, and I don't remember because it's been so long since I haven't had a channel, because I had a channel long before I started putting videos up. I don't think you can participate in the chat unless you have a channel. And creating a channel is easy if you have a YouTube account. You just go turn on that feature, I believe, and it's pretty easy to do. Talk a little bit about the origins of this channel. It started off pretty secretive this summer. It was just kind of a whim, an idea that I had. Hey, I've got all this knowledge and people tell me I have these ideas. How can I share them with people? Because if I don't share them with people and something happens to me, all this stuff that everyone says is good is going to be gone. So I needed to come up with a way to get this information out there, and it's probably not in the best format, not in the best usable format, but the information is there. There are things that I know you can use and you will be able to use. So, it may just take some playing some videos, checking around, and finding some things that you like. Now, depending on how the views go and how comments go today, I am going to guess that I may end up giving these books away at a different time. However, it only takes one. It only takes a couple of comments to give these books away. Also, please, if you haven't already, subscribe, would you? I would really like that. If you subscribe and you give the video a thumbs up, every time you do that, you help make this video easier to find for other teachers searching for information like this. I'm going to throw up a test chat here and see if I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to see it. I am just checking to see how quickly it pops. Oh, okay. So on the 2 computers I'm using, it pops up almost instantaneously. There's no delay. So the only delay really is in my broadcast and in my video. So when I see any response come up on the chat window, I will respond immediately on the chat window and let you know that there is a spoken response coming. And that's the way we'll deal with that today. I hope to work out the whole problem with this delay for my next live broadcast, which right now I'm expecting will fall sometime during the holidays. I don't go back to school until January. Hold on a second. I don't go back to school until what day? January. January. Excuse me. January 5th is when I go back to school. So that'll be, there's a whole 2 weeks there. I get out I'm off officially this coming Friday. And then it's all the way to January 5th. So about 2 weeks, 2 weeks worth of vacation. And let me tell you, I do need it. I think I've mentioned that before in my videos. But the fact is, I'm tired. I am very tired. I think part of it has to do with the fact that I've been sick. And the other part of it has to do with the fact that I am just tired. So, with all of that said, back to the origins of this. Like I said, it started off pretty secretive because I didn't want to announce I was doing something and then not follow through. It's a problem I've had with things in the past. So I figured I'd make a few videos, put them on, and then I would have some videos banked and all this kind of thing. And so I did, and the videos were very simple. Well, they weren't simple, but they had the most concise information of the things I felt were the most important things, period, that I had to get out there quickly and that I wanted everyone to see. And as I was doing this, I realized that the ideas for videos kept coming and kept growing and kept more and more things kept happening. And so I decided, okay, it's time to make this public. Now, I didn't advertise it out. I didn't push it out to a lot of people. Just a few friends, a few smatterings, and they kind of spread it to a few other people. And it's just been growing organically ever since. I'm very happy with the growth I have. We've got 52 subscribers at this point, which is great. I think it's fantastic. There are some videos that say I'm ahead of the curve with amount of videos to subscribers and amount of time that I've been live as a channel. But regardless of all of that, I'm going to continue putting this information out because I do believe people are using this information. I think this information will help a lot of people. I would like to hear from more of you. I would like to hear from more of the people who watch the videos. I would like to hear more from people who are teachers and the struggles you have as teachers. I'm curious as to what you are doing to make it through those times that are not the easiest, those challenging times. I'm curious as to what you're doing when you're succeeding. What are you using that success momentum for? I'm curious as to how things are going for you. The tagline I use, which is, I enjoy learning with you, I enjoy teaching with you, and together we can take over the world, is absolutely true. And I think it's true of almost any group that works together. You can take over the world. And let's face it, there are books about it. I just finished one recently called Hey, My Name's Public School and I Have an Image Problem. But I mean, let's face it, public school has some problems. There are some image issues that public school has. And I think if teachers will band together, especially those who are passionate about their craft and are really looking to push forward the image that public school really is not a bad place, then I think that the image of public school will begin to change. I'm not going to lie; it's been a tough time as far as adjusting in a career change, and I know there's a lot of you out there who've also been through a career change, which again is why these videos are here and why I keep doing these. So checking my chat over here. I'm hoping someone will chime in. We've got three watching, and again, like I said, I think 2 of them are me. I believe it would appear that it counts my actual live window over here that I've got open as me, as one of the watchers, and then I've got another PC sitting over here to my right over here, and that's over here showing me also a chat window and other things. So my plan with this video itself is I probably will take this video down in a day or so, edit it with some good parts, and maybe put some stuff in between with me talking about what we'll do in the future, and we'll see how that works. So we are coming up on 30 minutes of broadcasting. I figured I would give this about 45 minutes to an hour. And like I said, did not expect a whole lot of views. Did not go out and push this on teachers.net. I did not go out and push this on Google Live. I only pushed this through a few videos that I posted over the last couple of weeks since I hit 50 subscribers, mainly to test the feasibility and the workability of doing a live broadcast. I had to find the software, had to learn the software, had to do all that type of thing. So that is where I am. Now, one of the cool things about the software is also if I want to check chat window, of course it won't be instant. This is where the delay pops in, I believe. If I want to check chat window, I can also put chat window up there. So once we get to where there is no delay and everything is working well, then this is the type of layout I'll probably use most often. The thing I enjoy about doing this is that actually when we get people to start watching, start listening, start paying attention and taking a part, it'll be a place to really open up and share ideas and maybe even work through some problems that people are having as far as as far as school goes. So I'm hoping that it'll also be a way to kind of come up with ways to solve issues and solve problems. I do have in the works ideas for a similar type video channel layout and setup for teenagers and helping them become the best students that they can become. I'm not really sure what all that's going to look like, how that's all going to be entailed. I know it'll be more upbeat than what I'm doing right now. There'll be a lot more. There'll be a lot more jump cuts, I'm sure, and there'll be a lot more animation and some stuff, really eye-catching kind of things. But in addition to that, all that animation, all that stuff, just like I said in my video about technology, I don't want it to take away from what I have to say. And what I have to say to students, is this. I want every student to be successful. And so as I work towards opening up the second channel, which will be aimed at teenagers for the purpose of them becoming the best students they can possibly become, then I feel like I will have done what I need to do in order to really start building better students and helping teachers become better themselves. And that's really what it's all about, is success of our students and the success of all students. Anyway, that's kind of what the future holds at this point, and that's what I am hoping to do. We're sitting here, we've been going for 15 minutes now. I said the wrong time earlier because it counted the time that I had been broadcasting prior to 11 o'clock. I usually will. What worked out really well this morning is I started it up 15 minutes prior to the actual time of beginning, which was 11 o'clock. So at 10:45, I fired up the welcome screen and then went straight into setting everything up. So getting it to the point of where you see things now. So that is how that all worked. And now you've got what you see, and you can click down on that icon down at the lower, right down in the lower right hand corner, and you can subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We're giving away 2 of Harry Wong's books, The First Days of School. In fact, I've got them right here, the very copies I will be sending, which are right here. And I hope that you will take a moment to comment down below or chat. If you do either one of those things, I will make sure that you get the opportunity to win one of these 2 books. So, Harry Wong's First Days of School, we've got 2 copies to give away. They're yours. All you have to do is comment down below. And let's see here if we've got any. Nope, no comments. There's still 3 people watching. And no thumbs up. Hey, whoever the 3rd person is, if you can give me a thumbs up, that would be awesome. I guess I could give, let's try that. Oh, look, there's one. Thank you very much. All right, cool. So anyway, yeah, I won't do that again. I just caught a glimpse of what that looked like when I lean over. And why don't we just take the chat down? No one is participating in that at the moment. The chat obviously is still up. All you have to do is comment on it. I can see it over here. There we go. Now we'll widen this out a little bit. There you go. So, as we all right, so I apologize for disappearing off the screen there for a second. Again, like I said, testing everything out to see how it all works, so that in the future we have a really smooth setup. Now, you'll notice behind me I've got a backdrop of some sort. It's actually it is actually a bedspread, but I hung it up back here so you can't see the mess in the room. I took some pictures around, so when I show my first setup as compared to future setups, we can have a good look and a good laugh as to where we've been and where we've come from. I really use the word "we" a lot because it's your watching, it's your commenting, it's your participation in this channel that makes it work. Even if you're just watching and you don't comment and you choose not to thumbs up things and you haven't subscribed, even just watching videos helps make the videos findable by other teachers who are looking for information like this. And you'll hear me say that phrase over and over and over, and it's what I'm really hoping will happen, is we want people to find this who need it. My guess is if you have everything taken care of in your classroom, you probably know somebody in your school, possibly even in your hallway, that you could say, hey, you should check out this channel. It's got some really good information on it. And pretty soon, I'm hoping to start interviewing some people. I've got one teacher in mind. I've talked to her, and she is willing. So we're going to do an interview of how she's a first-year teacher. She's doing a fantastic job. Excellent classroom management skills and organization skills as if she's been teaching for 30 or 40 years. For those of you who've been watching this channel, you know that I struggle with organization. And so as I walk into her classroom, I just kind of soak up all of the things I can see that I can possibly use. And then I go over to my room, which is across the hall, and I start digging out of my nest that has been built over the last semester and trying to implement some of the things that I see in her room. For instance, she has her cabinet where she keeps a lot of her things. I have started making a place in my cabinet for everything. She has a place for everything. It's amazing. But hopefully we'll get her on here and we'll interview her and talk to her about some of the things she does besides organization, how she builds relationships, and some about where she came from in life to where she is now, why she decided to be a teacher. Because I think it's all very interesting and it's all very, very helpful to those of us who are new to the career or who have been in the career for a long time, to hear people's stories about where they came from. Another set of interviews that I'm working on are on students that I've had in the past. Now, remember, I was in ministry for 21 years, and I did have students that I worked with during that time. So at least one of those students will be from that time, 2 students from the time since my second year of teaching, and I'm looking at bringing some students in as they graduate who've been in my class for years down the road. So hopefully, we'll have I would like to do at least one a year of a student who's graduated, who had me as a freshman, the things they remember, the things that stuck, the things that stayed with them, so that maybe by finding those patterns, I can become a better teacher to the students I have each year, and maybe by seeing those patterns, you can find ways to build similar patterns in students as well. Relationships are key. You've heard me say it over and over and over. In fact, I would say it would be very hard to find any video that doesn't have something to do with relationships. And I could stretch that a little bit and say that the relationship I have with you guys and you have with me is there simply because you're watching the video, so therefore it has something to do with relationships. But seriously, without relationships, you're not going to succeed in this job. And without strong, positive relationships, you're not going to succeed in this job. So you need to start working on building those relationships and working on finding those people who are resources. And, I talk about how everyone is a team. And it is so true. We're like a success building team. Everyone from the administration, to the teachers, the parents, even those who take care of the building, all of those things, those people, all of us, we are all part of a team, and we should be working together for the success of the student. That's the bottom line, the success of the student. Every person you meet, all the relationships we build help achieve success for the student. Now, obviously, there are students who just don't want to be successful, and they let you know about that. And it's our job to try to inspire them to have that desire and have that want to. But it's not always going to happen. And so we do the best we can as we continue to build relationships, continue to find ways to motivate, to find ways to inspire, to find ways to help students. Like I said, administration, parents, teachers, even those who work with the building, and also, of course, the student, all make up that team. And it's important that we realize that, and everything that we do is aimed towards strengthening that team. So I'm still watching for comments every once in a while, looking at the chat where I've written hello. It's a lonely hello. But I expected it would be. This is nothing that is going to discourage me at all. I will continue to do live chats from time to time. One of the things it helps me do is it helps me improve my improvisational skills as far as speaking goes. I do have an outline right over here. Right over here. But, excuse me. But it helps me kind of talk off the cuff and see how things are going. We're still sitting at 3 subscribers, and I have been going now for 24 minutes since I actually went live and started talking. Just a second, I'll be right back. I'm going to leave camera for a second. This will not happen very often. All right. So one of the things I forgot to do is put my my drink a little closer to me. It was all the way across the room a little bit. So I think I just gave a free shout out to whoever, whatever beverage it is that I'm drinking. So the next thing I want to talk about is community. When I grew up, it was not uncommon to have teachers right there in the community with you, who took part in the community with you, who you saw outside of school. And I went to a school of over, well, right around 2,800, whatever students. I was a big school at the time, and I was in a class of, I want to say 800 and something. I don't remember the exact numbers. It's pretty big, though, for the time. Graduated, actually, I left school in '86, got my GED that summer as well, and here I am. But the fact is, teachers were part of my life. They didn't just show up at school. They popped up at the grocery store. They popped up at the movies. They popped up in places that we went with as a family. There was Astroworld at the time. We were seeing teachers there. We were seeing teachers at church, other locations in the area, at the mall. And generally, it was kind of exciting to see them. Oh, look, it froze. Oh, my goodness. It would appear that we have frozen. I am going to reboot, and I will come back immediately. This is a problem that I have had off and on with this software, and was really surprised we've gone as long as we have without it freezing. So here's what we're going to do. I will reboot and come back immediately, and I will see you shortly. Here we go. Going to reboot. And okay, I'm back up, and it looks like I am back up and running. Let's see what we've got going on over here. All right, yeah, it looks like we're going again. So I apologize for that. Also looks like we may be moving a lot closer to real time. It's only about a 6 or 7 second delay now, it appears. Interesting. So I'm not sure why it does that. Not sure why we cut out like that. I will be working on trying to fix that. Trust me. If you happen to stumble across my channel and see that there's a live broadcast up, and it's not just the screen that welcomes you, there's a good chance that I am testing to see how long we can go and see if I can get it to recreate the freeze that you just saw, because I'm not sure what's causing it. And if I can find what's causing it, well, then we can take care of it and not do that again, so that we don't have a freeze. Earlier today, I went for quite a span without a freeze, and here we are approaching 30 minutes. I noticed that it froze at about 11:27. So we'd been going for, actually been going for almost 45 minutes, because I'd been broadcasting that welcome screen for 15 minutes prior to the actual broadcast that I started. So here we are. Now, as I mentioned before, one of the things I'll be doing is taking this long broadcast, and I will be editing it down. Now, let me try something here because one of the things I'm curious about is if I do this, I'm wondering if it kept. Ah, look, it did. All right. So then there's two hellos up there now. I wasn't sure if it had kept it or not. It certainly did. So that's cool. So as we reach 11:30, I'm going to cut the live broadcast here in just a second. And I have enjoyed doing this. This has been fun. Next time, hopefully we'll get more than 3 people watching. It will be, I think it's been a great first broadcast. Like I said, I did not advertise this out or tell anyone about it. I will be doing that again. It looks like I'll be holding on to these 2 books for a little bit longer. And remember, I enjoy learning with you. I enjoy teaching with you. And together, we can take over the world. Yeah, I got to find how to stop it now. Do-do-do-do.